Hey, what is up? We are back in black. What is up? Did Jesus come back today? Damn. Damn, I was waiting for that nigga to come back. God damn. All this bullshit going on, and nigga, you can't make your 2,000 year return? God, leave. Man, what is going on? This is the No I Don't Know podcast. Because I don't know shit. I don't ever claim to know shit. Shout out to everybody that's out there reading. I want to send a special shout out to all the people that understand what's going on during these protests, these agent provocateurs, and all these people gaslighting the situations and making it 10 times worse. And then trying to distract us with the NBA return and the NFL. They're trying to do anything to break the movement. If y'all noticed that. So shout out to all you dumbass niggas that's going along with the shit instead of being like, nah, man, we don't need to be doing that. So shout out to all y'all. Shout out to all my motherfuckers that's out there that's finessing every day, sitting around the house, not doing shit, just finessing just because, you know, that's all they know how to do. So shout out to all y'all that's out there finessing and don't know anything else but that. So shout out to them. Shout out to all my hardworking people that's making it do what it do, holding it down. You know my people that be like, shit, I don't know what the fuck y'all niggas trying to do. I gotta go to work. No justice, no peace. Hey man, where you going? Hey man, I gotta be at work in the morning. I'll see y'all tomorrow. So shout out to them people. Hey, shit, niggas gotta go to work. Everybody ain't on unemployment and shit. Unemployment getting ready to run out. So shout out to all my niggas that's thinking that they just gonna rest on unemployment. First of all, if you think the government is gonna help y'all, exit stage left. The government don't give a fuck about y'all, especially if you live out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This nigga still ain't got no bread. First of all, there's no state tax out here. There's none at all. So you don't get no county check and all that bullshit. You get some food stamps. Well, I can't get no food stamps. The motherfuckers that qualify for it, they get some food stamps, but you're not getting no check. This ain't Cali. Ain't no state tax out here. That's why you have Nevada Highway Patrol making $12, $13 an hour, giving niggas tickets, protecting and serving, or so they think. Shout out to all my people that was out there protesting out there, and I think it's Kentucky. We had a shooting out there. Somebody passed away. So, you know, shout out to that whole situation and to the family. Trying to see if I can find some on that. So shout out to everybody that's really, really understanding what's going on. Know that the Matrix, it's not real. The consequences are real, but it's not real. Watching the Matrix last night. I try to watch it as much as I can. I learn something every time. So shout out to all y'all that really understands that. First of all, you need to understand and be fully aware of what is going on around you. Understand that agent provocateurs are the same people that killed Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and every other prominent black leader. So just because somebody's marching and whining and repeating with you, that might not be the same racial group as you. Don't think that they're your friends. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the people that surround you. Man, it is so much going on. It's hot than the motherfucker though. It was just an earthquake not too long ago. Man. You know what? Another thing. Shout out to all motherfuckers out here that gotta wear these clown ass masks. I hate them. They think that this, in my personal opinion, they think that the mask is gonna stop it. First of all, if you wanted to stop this shit from spreading, you would have shut these goddamn states down for multiple months. But y'all so afraid of not making no money. Stop acting like y'all don't like y'all care about the economy. I don't give a fuck about the economy. Y'all care about the money. Stop. So shout out to everybody that understands and are fully aware of the consequences behind these so-called masks and the epidemic that is going on, or pandemic. I would like to call it a scamdemic if you really, really want to know what I think. So shout out to all you motherfuckers that watching the news and be like, oh man, what we gonna do? We can't go outside again. Now it's gonna be a famine. It's going to be a shortage. The toilet tissue shortage is going to come back. Watch. So shout out to all y'all that understand what the fuck is going on. Don't get easily distracted by the bullshit. Man. Let me turn it down. Man. There's so much going on, man. I was looking on Twitter. I'm going to get right into it. Man, I was looking on Twitter, and there was a tweet about Black Power. And the thing that I would say is the difference, because there were tweets. Some white people were like, oh, well, if we say white power, then we're racist, but black people could say black power. So this is my definition, and not just definition, this is my perspective on black power. Black power means justice, equality. That's what it means. Defense, deacons of defense, Black Panthers, replacing the system of racism and white supremacy and establishing a system of justice. That's what black power means. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that we reign supreme over every other racial group, which really we do. That's why we built the country, United States of America Incorporated. That's why every other racial group that comes here, they're here for unearned benefits, by the way. They have been trained to dislike us. There's a reason why that goes on, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think that what do y'all think? Y'all think that these people just come here and just go to sleep one day and wake up and be like, yeah, fuck these niggas? No. These are social constructs. These are programs that are being uploaded into these other racial groups' hard drives so they can practice anti-black racism towards us. That's why when you date outside your race, like I said, I remember one time, long time ago when I was in California, this Latino girl was like, oh, I want to hang out with you and stuff like that, but my dad says I can't date black men. And I just looked at her and I was just like, and then I told her, I was like, yeah, well, I don't really like you like that anyway. We cool, but I don't really like you like that. And she kind of was like, no, but I didn't mean it that way. And I was like, and then I straight out told her, I was like, nah, I don't really want to meet your parents. I'm good on that. You know what I mean? And after that, that right there, especially being a Latino, which y'all did not build this country. I don't give a fuck what these white folks told y'all. Because if that's the case, then where the fuck were y'all at when we were building the country? If that's the case, where were your antennas at during all this struggle the last 450 years? Where were y'all? Where were y'all? And the reason why I say that, I'm getting this book. The reason why I say that, because if y'all are around and y'all built this country and all this other stuff, then Dr. Claude Anderson sure don't mention you in this book. Slavery is by another name. It don't mention no Latinos in that book. Medical apartheid don't mention none of y'all in that book. The new Jim Crow doesn't mention none of y'all in that book. Stop. That's why when that young Latino sister said that, I didn't get mad. I just was like, nah, I'm good. She was like, oh, then she tried to start, explaining. And once she started explaining, I just was like, nah, you ain't got to explain. I'm good, man. I don't really want to go to your crib like that anyway. So I say that to say this. We need to understand that we built the country. If you don't know history, then you don't really know where you're going. You don't know where you came from. You don't know where you're going. And I think a lot of black folk, they don't know their history. They don't want to know the history because you got so many coons and sambos that love this wicked system of racism and white supremacy. They love how we get the anti-black racism every chance they get to give it to us. And a lot of black people thrive off that because then they could separate themselves from other niggas and be liked amongst the dominant society. So then the dominant society could tell most black folk, oh, well, you're not like those other, you're not ghetto. I'll tell you like this. When I was younger and I used to work the 2 and 3 jobs, most dominant society people be like, man, you work 2 jobs? And I'd be like, yeah, why? Oh, wow. You know what I mean? And I would always be like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? I wasn't educated, but I would always be like, well, what does that mean? Like, I never get it. I never got it. Like, well, what do you mean? Because I was younger. I was like, why are you saying wow? Wow, because you're You know, you're young, you know, the word they use the young, or they'll tap around. Really, wow, I didn't expect a nigger like you to work 2 jobs. That's probably what they really wanted to say, but they didn't want to say it. So they would use my age, or they would, oh, I wasn't expecting that, or something like, you know what I mean? And that's another form of saying, wow, you're not like the rest of them. You know, to me. So I think we need to try harder at understanding what our history is. I'm not saying I know everything about our history, and I don't claim to have known everything about our history, but I'm delving into it, reading it. And when you read the new Jim Crow, you read the secret relationship between Jews and blacks. That's why that Jewish community, they probably the ones that got me kicked off Twitter too. They probably was running and telling everybody. But see, I wasn't saying nothing of any, I would say, bad significance towards the Jewish community. The only thing I was saying was that they had a hand in slavery, and that they participated in the transatlantic slave trade, and they participated in anti-black racism. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, go get this book for yourself. Don't let these people tell you that this book is bad. Go read the book yourself. Don't listen to these people. Anything that's contrarian to them, they gonna want you not to read. So stop. Another book I suggest most people go read is the new Jim Crow. And I don't remember everything in this book, but I know it does talk about Obama and all these other presidents, how they just kept passing on the same laws and signing the same policies into effect. They wasn't doing anything different. And I would suggest that you, if you can start, whatever book you can get your hands on, read it. You know what I mean? Don't let these people, in my personal opinion, don't let the dominant society fool you. Don't let them paint the narrative and give you the narrative of, oh, well, slavery was so long ago, and you know, we had Obama, and you know, and that's why it's time to get Trump, because Trump is the big bad wolf and boo, you know, all that other stuff. No, it's about black power, black empowerment. So with that being said, what president has the specific agenda for black folk? You notice ever since Charlamagne the Guy interviewed your boy Joe 94 Crime Bill Biden, you notice ever since he interviewed him, hey, look, man, I'm trying not to laugh. Hey, but if y'all watch that interview, that shit was so funny. He's like, man, but wouldn't you say that the 94 crime bill, you know, was responsible for putting a lot of black people, making them poor and disenfranchised, even worse, and putting black people behind the line? No, it was the drug policies in the crime bill. Man, nigga, what? That's like me saying, that's like you telling me, hey, man, you know I'm allergic to peanuts. And I give you a Snickers. And be like, man, we'll eat the Snickers. Hey, man, I'm allergic to peanuts. Oh, well, it's peanuts inside of it, but, man, they're not going to hurt you. It's going to be covered up with chocolate and cream filling, so don't worry about the peanuts. Nigga, but I'm allergic to peanuts, though. And then you eat it, and the nigga be like, oh, no, it wasn't the Snickers. It was the peanuts on the inside. Well, but the Snickers covered the whole thing. Yeah, but it was the peanuts on the inside that hurt you, right? Yeah. Okay, well, it wasn't really the Snickers, the chocolate. It was the man, stop. Stop, man. That's an alligator roll. You're just taking a motherfucker on a fantastic voyage. Nigga, the 94 crime bill, go read the new Jim Crow. That 94 crime bill and those drug policies, all that shit was the worst. In the 80s with Oliver North and Freeway Ricky Ross and the CIA and Contras and all that. Please, man. And then they had, was it Nancy Reagan trying to tell black folks, just say no. No, let me tell you what happened. They didn't think white folks was going to start freebasing and doing that Ready Rock, which is crack cocaine now. Now it's a, what is it? Not a drug epidemic, but a prescription epidemic now. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now it's a prescription epidemic. But when we was taking the drugs, oh, it's the crack era. Crackheads, baseheads, that type of shit. Hey, what's going on, Josh? I see you. I tell you this, man. Y'all motherfuckers better wake up and start reading a goddamn book. I just got this little book, this Constitution book. I had to break, I'm out, give myself a refresher's course on the Constitution. So So I'm gonna go ahead and read that. I got this. It was only like $6. It's a little small little book. It's somewhere in there in the kitchen. But yeah, y'all better go get it. And the reason why I say go get the book, because y'all see what Amazon is doing. Like me and Shawnee was talking about the other day. Man, Amazon is out of control. Amazon want to charge a nigga $500 for black labor, white wealth. If you got black labor, white wealth right now, you doing good, nigga. Because you're not getting that shit on Amazon. Because I know Powernomics is going for at least $200, but Black Labor White Wealth is going for $500. And I know why it's going for $500. Because that's probably the most demanding book right now. So it can tell you exactly what is going on in your neighborhoods and your communities. As Dr. Claude Anderson says, you know, you don't have a community. You have a neighborhood. You don't have a community. A community is where black folks have businesses and it's prosperity. A neighborhood is somewhere that you live. You know what I mean? A community is somewhere where you can spend your money and stuff. And most black folks don't spend their money in their community. I mean, in their neighborhood. They go out of the neighborhood and go buy Gucci. I was watching this. I'm going to try to find it. Thank you. Okay? You paid $21. I paid for my Black Labor White Wealth. I paid $12 for my shit. Because I got it in 2015. 2015, I think. I think 2015. Yeah, I got it in 2015. 2015 or 2016, I think. Yeah. I think 2015. The end of 2015, I got Black Labor White Wealth. It was like $12. It was like $10.99 or some shit like that. Yep. And then you paid $20 for it. Now niggas is paying $500. Go on Amazon.com and look for that book. It's $500. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the reasons why we don't try to read, and I think the reason why is because we feel like we're gonna miss out on something or we're gonna miss something, period. So I think that's another reason why, because we feel like we're gonna miss out on something. So we gotta be on the internet, we gotta be doing something. But in my personal opinion, I feel like it's better when you are missing things, because if you waiting to see if you can try to catch something, you know, as far as if you're missing out on something on social media, man, social media it's the dream world. It's the Matrix. That's all a controlled environment. Because if it wasn't controlled, you could really say what you want to say. I made some comments about Coon and shit like that. They took my shit off of Instagram immediately. That's why they took my Twitter. I had to open up me a whole new Twitter because of that. But it's all right, because, you know, a lot of people that was on my last Twitter was people that was following me since 2012. I don't even deal with those people no more. You know what I mean? We got to know what it is. We got to pick up the books. We got to watch what's going on. I was watching this video with Bootsy. Lil Bootsy Badass. Very, very good video. And he was talking about, he's like, y'all niggas is dumb as fuck, dog. Y'all at that Gucci store. Gucci don't even like black people. Let me find it. Lil Bootsy. I'ma find it. Lil Bootsy telling to, hold on, shop there. Let me see if I can find it. Shop. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. And I think it's a good thing. I give Lil Bootsy Badass props. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like what Bootsy be saying. And let's just say this. You have to analyze what most black celebrities are saying and what they're talking about, and really, you got to pick it apart, and really, there's certain things you may agree with and there's certain things you may not. You're not going to agree with everything I say. But a lot of the shit that Bootsy Badass be saying, it be some real facts. Like how he was talking about Dwayne. Don't cut his dick off. Don't cut his dick off, dog. Don't cut his dick off, man. Don't do that, man. He's a man. Don't do that. He might change. I agree with him. I feel like we just kind of following some type of a trend. Or are you living vicariously through your kids? I don't know what D-Wade was doing. Like I said, he used to be my favorite player. That's basketball-wise. But off the court, like, nigga, I don't know what the fuck is you on. You know what I mean? I guess. That's neither here nor there. Maybe you need to be more influential in your son's life. I don't know. But this is my personal opinion. I feel like that's the dominant society's narrative. And that's that Bruce Jenner bullshit. That, oh, I'm going to win the Olympic gold, do all this bullshit in there. Oh, well, now I want to be a bitch now. Nah, stop it. Stop. And then these same motherfuckers want to go to church. Now, if you're going according to the Bible, God made you a man. Not no bitch. And it ain't say nowhere in the Bible where he could be a he bitch. But it's like motherfuckers want to follow the Bible when it's convenient for them. Just like niggas want to start quoting the Bible and then they eat pork chops. Well, nigga, in the Bible, he don't fuck with swine. But motherfuckers still want to be quoting. No, ye that the Lord, he is God. No, man, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, man. So that's why I give Gucci no props, because Gucci is one of those covert racist clothing labels where they pretend like they love black folk when really they cater to Europeans because it's a European brand. You know what I mean? They don't like niggas. I wish y'all would stand in line for David Banner's clothing. You feel me? Or Corey Holcomb's clothing, or Randall Martin's. Damn, if niggas did that, we'd have Black Wall Street all over again. But that's because white people validate those clothes. But that's when niggas get their narrative from Caucasians. That's why most niggas go get whatever car they see Caucasians drive. They're not getting it off of an economic thing. You know what I mean? No, they getting it more like, oh, well, I see them driving, so I'm gonna get it. Here, let me play this video of Boosie talking to these dumbass niggas at the Gucci store.
Gucci don't like black people. I don't know why y'all in that line. Gucci don't like black people. I don't know why y'all in that line. Y'all stupid as a motherfucker. Gucci don't like black people. Y'all still in the line. Y'all stupid as a motherfucker. Stupid as a motherfucker. All y'all.
Man, that was good. That was good. He was putting their ass on blast. He's like, Gucci don't even like black people, and y'all stupid as a motherfucker in that line. That's what I'm saying about us. See, we got to study us, and we got to study them. So you got to study these Caucasians. You got to study and see what they got going on, and they know how to divide niggas. Easy. Clothes, shoes, cars, rims. Sprinkle a little bit of that shit amongst black people. Watch them fight over it, and watch them become envious and gut each other like a fish over. That's just how it is at the corporate plantation. That's how it is when you're going for a job in Black Hollywood. That's why it's one comedian at a time. And then they put each other against each other. And there's no diss to Kevin Hart or nobody. But when we start putting each other's business out there, that's when they got us. And you want to be a gatekeeper, as Mike Epps said, but are you a good gatekeeper or are you a bad one? Are you a bad gatekeeper like, I don't like this nigga, so let me close the door behind him? Or let's have a talk behind closed doors so we can figure out what the issue is. And that takes a lot of maturity and a lot of self-respect when you do that. And I think a lot of people don't understand that because we don't study them. Let me tell you something what niggas study. Niggas study Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all these fake phony motherfuckers on TV. That's what we study. And that's what we long to be like. Why you say that? Well, it's the truth, man. I'm around them. Motherfuckers, I'm around them. I see it. You can feel it. You can feel their energy. You can feel motherfucker when they want to be pleased and pet by the dominant society. And you can tell when they don't like you around. And those are the motherfuckers that are the Sambos, the Coons, the Tell 'em About the Gunline bosses, the Stephen from Django's. Those motherfuckers, like I said, in the Haitian Revolution, they got rid of them first. Dirty Bookman and McIndown was like, no, let's fix up these elixirs and give it to the Coons first. Because they didn't the motherfuckers that, it's called Stockholm Syndrome. Go look it up. You learn how to bond with your captors. How the one motherfucker, they made a movie about this shit. Where a motherfucker, these motherfuckers robbed a bank in Stockholm. I think it was Germany and one some place. I can't remember. And these motherfuckers had them kidnapped for days and days and days. When they got caught, the motherfuckers was like, oh no, they was good to us. Stockholm Syndrome. It's when you bond with your captors. And most black folk have Stockholm Syndrome. They have bonded with their captors, so they don't want to give up the dominant society's toys and trinkets and shit that they got going on. That's why motherfuckers love to wear Gucci and show you how much they shit costs. Now, they don't do it. See, black folks won't front and floss on white folk, but they'll do it to each other all day long. Trust and believe you me, it's almost sickening. That's why when you see another black brother, sister, you look them in the eye, you're like, hey, what's going on, my brother? They act like they don't even see you. Half the time. I deal with it all the time, and I'm like, wow. Just like when you try to tell them, hey, man, you should read this. And they be like, what you mean I should read that? Nah, man, you should, man, go check. Hey, have you read such, such, such? Start this, whoever's listening. When you start reading, I'd say this all the time. When you start reading, I don't care if you read 5 minutes a day, but once you become acclimating to reading a book almost every day, whether it's a couple of pages a day, 30 minutes a day, 40 minutes a day, an hour a day, it doesn't matter. But once you become acclimated to that, and that's a part of your regimen, you assess things differently. Your perspective is different. Your belief system becomes different. And the reason why it becomes different, well, depending on what you read, but it becomes different because to me, I think you have to be subjective and objective at the same time, which, and that meaning you can't just look at it one way. You got to look at it from multiple angles. You have to understand, process it, see what it is. It's just like racism. If you don't understand racism, white supremacy, everything else will confuse you, as Neely Fuller Jr. teaches. Racial showcase and confusion. Those are things that you got to look out for. Circular thinking, as Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talks about, you know, the great equalizer, the gun, those things. You think about it, they don't want niggas having no guns. They don't want niggas being able to protect themselves. But these KKK white supremacists or hillbillies, they can run around with their firearms all day and they are looked at as patriotic. But when black folks have a gun, we are looked at as what? Thugs. But we are the same people that fought in these same wars for America. But we're still looked at as thugs. We've still been lynched. You can go fight a war, come back, and they'll lynch you. They don't give a fuck about you being in the war with them. They don't care. That's how powerful the institution of racism is. That's why we gotta read. We gotta know what's going on. Stop just watching the news. Just like now, they going back to, we gotta wear a mask. Now in Las Vegas, Nevada, you gotta wear a mask. All day. Let's wear a mask. Well, y'all the ones who opened up the city, you jackasses. Now the numbers are spiking, and then y'all motherfuckers is like, well, why the numbers are spiking? Well, to the commoner, let's just break this down, commoner. If they closed states for months at a time, but y'all ain't tested everybody in the state, there might be still carriers and hosts of this so-called virus, right? Right. Which means if you can't mandate that everybody gets tested, then you don't know who has this so-called virus, right? But me personally, I think they was putting it in the grenades, the smoke bombs they was throwing. I think they put it in the air. That's just my perspective. Well, why would you think that, Warren? If you read the book Medical Apartheid, they was injecting mosquitoes with viruses and shit and then dropping them over tropical areas where they know the mosquitoes could survive, to my recollection, my memory, and they was infecting people with different type of viruses. If they gave the Tuskegee, that deadly virus, then what else would they do? They gave syphilis, then what would they not do? So I think this is all a part of the plan to take you on the emotional roller coaster, low and high. I keep telling y'all, this is all backed by money. Motherfucker, the stock market was doing good for about 3 days. Then that motherfucker, the numbers are spiked. Now the shit is dropping. Watch what happens when the shit falls to the motherfucking ground. And these houses ain't worth shit. So all you motherfucking dumb people that went and bought a house thinking that, it ain't gonna never get this cheap, thought you had a friend, huh, clown? That shit's gonna go down. And I hope everybody right now that's paying a high amount of money for some bullshit ass rent, now they can go get them a house for dirt cheap. Because this is what they do. This is all connected. And at the forefront of it is anti-black racism. Well, Warren, why would you say that? Well, our people are the ones being persecuted, being killed with impunity, being lynched on camera. Motherfuckers act like this is new. This is not new if you know the history of what has happened to us It was so funny because I was talking to, like I said, I was talking to this Latino brother, and he was telling me about how he was at a store and all these Latino brothers were speaking in Spanish. And a black dude said, wow, I thought this was America. And he said, why would he say that? You know, with all the shit that's going on, why would he say that? I said, you know why he would say that? Because his ancestors built this country. That's why he said that. He's like, well, what does that have to do? I said, that has everything to do with it. Because I can't go to Mexico and be in a crowd full of black people and we talking, and we might be talking shit about a whole bunch of Mexicans, and we get away with it. And then in Mexico, they make it where English is their preferable language and that it's a luxury to speak English. Do you think that Mexicans would allow that to happen in Mexico? I think not. But this is the only country where black folks, native foundational black Americans, and their ancestors could build this country for free because of slavery, Atlantic slave trade, Jim Crow, segregation, semi-slavery, redlining, gentrification. So with that all being done to black folk, why can't he say that? I agree. And this Latino brother was shocked. He's like, well, why would you say that? I said, because it's the truth. See, that's the thing. Y'all go by what y'all see on TV. I said, I go by what I've read. What I've read. And I said, and what I have read, I find to be true. Why you see that? I said, because look at what is happening to black folks now. If it is not true, then why would they erase it from the history books in school? Why do we talk about everything in history but native foundational black Americans? And when we do talk about that in school, it's Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King, and Frederick fucking Douglass. We don't talk about Carter G. Woodson. We don't talk about George Washington Carver. We don't talk about all the people, J.R. Patterson, the person that built the first automobile. No, we talk about Henry Ford, the person that's responsible for the mass production of the first automobile, not the person who invented it. We don't talk about how we cultivated the land. They even got a day about Christopher Columbus, which he didn't discover anything. If you read They Came Before Columbus by Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. And when I started talking to him about this, I said, see, the thing about it is you don't even know history. So you're mad at him as if he's ignorant when you are just as ignorant as maybe what he said. Now me, I can say that because I know history. And what history has taught me is that my people built this country. So everyone else that is here in the United States of America is here for unearned benefits. And then this Latino brother said, real good dude, he said, well, what kind of benefits am I getting? I said, the right to live here and be able to buy property and get businesses, and you didn't build the country. I can't go to a foreign country and not know their native language and not be able to speak it correctly and bring all my family over there and get grants and government loans to start businesses, sell it to the native people there and treat them like shit and laugh at them. That's not how it works in other countries. It only works that way here. It's called the benign neglect policy. Put everybody, every other racial group in a position of power, but black folk. You know why? Because you guys are not a threat. I was looking at him just like I'm looking at the camera. I was like, you guys aren't a threat. You're just simply happy to be here for those unearned benefits that you receive every month. Versus native foundational black Americans are not happy because we are owed a debt that hasn't been repaid for the last 450 years. So while they give us the Matrix and give everybody else the real deal, Holyfield, I feel like we have been counterfeited, shortchanged, run amok, bamboozled, all those things, all of the above. So if I was that black man, I would say the same thing, because this is the United States of America. And as I've learned before, in Rome, do as the Romans. Then the motherfucker walked away. Then there was another Latino. I was like, why you walking away? You shouldn't have asked him that. And then the other Latino brother started laughing. He's like, hey, he got a point. You know what I mean? It's fucked up, but he got a point. He's like, yeah, man, it's, you know, the black and the brown war and all that. He's like, but, you know, you got a point. I was like, even look at the movies and the narratives. Look at the narratives that they put in the movies. You know what I mean? That's why Hollywood tells half or a little bit of truth, and then they bundle it up with a whole bunch of lies. So they can never say, see, we didn't tell a lie. We told the truth. Y'all better wake up and understand what the fuck is going on and know your history. So when motherfuckers ask you questions like that, you could run rings around them in a matter of seconds, like I did. Because I clearly was like, well, why? What was the problem with him saying that? You can only do that in this country, the country that his ancestors built, not yours. Your ancestors built Mexico or wherever you came from. You didn't build the United States of America. Oh, well, I said, last time I checked, shout out to Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P., you and no other racial group are named as builders of this country. Just like how the white Anglo-Saxons were fighting off King George to establish their freedom from the British. That's the same thing that we're trying to do. As Brother Tony Muhammad said, we as black folk want a divorce, but there needs to be repayment with that divorce. So break us off the money, give us our 60 trillion, 70 trillion, 100 trillion, because that's what is owed to us for the 400 years of free labor, and we'll go on about our way. I'll buy my own land, wealth, and resource. You would never see me again only doing a podcast. Matter of fact, then I would go find me all my nigga nerds and have them build my own platform so I can do it. And by the way, I did find another platform. It's called 4B2. I'm going to probably start loading some of my shit up to that as well because, you know, YouTube has a way sometimes of censoring. Right now, I don't get censored because I don't have a lot of followers, but I'm pretty sure if I ever got to it, they'll probably start censoring some of the things that I say. But I'll tell you this. If you are one of those people that think that racism and white supremacy does not exist and you're trying to play the conformist role, the go along to get along, just so you can keep friends or your friends won't be mad at you, then you are sadly mistaken. And those are not your real friends, because real friends could take it. Real friends, you can tell them, well, that's white fragility. And you're deflecting from the real issues. Because I think the majority of the dominant society, they are fully aware of what anti-black racism is and what white supremacy is. So when you say white power, they know what that infrastructure looks like. And when you say black power, they know what it could look like. That's why they destroyed the Black Panthers. J. Edgar Hoover, which was an anti-black racist who practiced anti-black racism the whole time he was in office. And he was in office for 40 goddamn years. Now, did he practice his unethical ideas and concepts on other white people? Yeah, he did. But for the most part, his focus was on blacks. So, why he was wearing women's dresses. So with that being said, no, I do not for 1 second think that black power is compared to white power in the term and the meaning of the term. White power, when you think of white power, you think of slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, segregation, gentrification, lynching. That's what you think of. When you think of black power, you think of justice. You think of defense. You think of equality. You think of empowerment. You don't think of black supremacy. Terry Crews, stop. We got to stop and get off this bucking against black folk thinking that you're going to get a pat on the head from all these fucking white people. They don't give a fuck and they don't care. And a lot of them don't even respect you and they think you a Sambo. See, what happens is we need to make us a Sambo shake, some type of a anti-Sambo remedy, and start giving it to these fucking Sambos, because the Samboism is real, man. Motherfucker get around white people and start bucking their eyes, and I don't see no racism. I don't know what he's talking about. That shit. Because they want to make white folks comfortable. If you gotta make white folks comfortable, then you're a Sambo, because I'm not gonna make them comfortable. Now, when you're on the corporate plantation, which we all are, we have to conduct ourselves in an orderly manner, in an orderly fashion. So we have to have composure. We have to understand, we have to pick our battles. You can't go around race baiting people. Stay away from topics like politics and race and all that if you can. Stay away from that. When people talk to me about politics, I'll be laughing at them. They be like, why? It's like, because I don't vote. Vote means to wish. So you're not going to, no, I don't vote for either party. Why? Because I don't vote. And that's it. Once you say you don't vote, they're going to think you're some type of anti-government and anarchist, and they're gonna come up with all these name tags because in the dominant society they gotta place some type of a name tag on you. It's like the Columbusism. I'm going to India, but since I got here, I'm gonna just name y'all Indians, and then I'm gonna separate y'all from the other black people because y'all all look the same, but I'm gonna kind of separate y'all because I'd rather just kind of deal with y'all, not really deal with them, because I'm more afraid of them than I am of y'all, and we gonna segregate them anyway, and we gonna have y'all catch them. So stop it, so-called Native Americans, as y'all was catching slaves. And according to the 1866 treaty from Dr. Claude Anderson in his book, Black Labor, White Wealth, and Powernomics, we're supposed to be getting some of that bread that y'all get, correct? But when is the last time you saw any Native American protesting for black folk? But when Donald Trump turned them hoses on their ass in North and South Dakota, we're together. And they want to go to Breakfast Club and beat their drums. Stop. Stop it. No diss, but please stop. And black folks, stop thinking you got all these goddamn allies. As Dr. Claude Anderson teaches us, black folk in the United States of America, you have no friends, no allies. You are on your own. And we need to stop going with horizontal issues, basically lateral movement. Stop letting them give you the narrative. You got Black Lives Matter, and all of a sudden you got the Black Trans Lives Matter. It's like, man, nigga, what? You black before you are trans, which I don't really believe in anyway. I don't believe you was born this way. Then then you got men who want to be a woman, but then still date men. But then I'm like, I don't get it. Anything to distract us and keep us deaf, dumb, and blind to what the fuck is really going on. And I've had it. I'm tired of talking to my black folks. And when you within the first 5 minutes of talking to a black person, you understand exactly what they on. If they're on some reading and studying, you're gonna know, because you're gonna vibe with them right away. But if they on some, man, we gotta get Trump out of office, walk away from their ass and be like, I don't necessarily think Trump is the problem right now. Well, why would you not think he's a Trump? Trump is an equal opportunist racist. So he's an equal opportunity racist. So he doesn't just practice anti-black racism. He practices anti-every racism. And I can deal with that. And that's why other racial groups don't like him. Because now he's talking shit about them. But when it's okay to just talk a whole bunch of shit about black folk, that's why, no diss, but it was very easy and egoic of Eminem to do that freestyle about Trump and create that whole narrative that he's the boogeyman. But I've yet to hear Eminem or any other white rapper or white singer come out and say, you know what, racism and white supremacy is a real thing. White privilege is a real thing. We all benefit from it. And we are racist because we haven't done more to help black folk. We benefit off of them. We make our money off of them. But nobody said it. That's why when Nick Cannon was going at Eminem and Eminem was going at Nick Cannon, it was a whole bunch of black people standing up for Eminem instead of black people falling back and just being like, well, let them handle it. You think Nick Cannon could go against one Jew? No, he's going against the whole Jewish community. But our community is the only one where one white person can do something for a black person and he will sell out all his folks for that issue. That's why I just be like, when I be watching, like, damn. That's why when that Latino brother was like mad at the black brother said that, I said, well, why shouldn't he have said it? This is America. You do know that, right? That's why, because America, the dominant society, has socialized every other racial group that they are better than us. And if we say anything contrarian to them, how dare us? Niggers and, all this other stuff. I was watching this video about this white girl calling this black sister a monkey and a nigger, but she got a black baby. And that goes to show y'all who y'all need to be procreating with. Now, if y'all gonna go procreate and deal with the bullshit, just do it with your black sisters. Don't go procreate with these other dominant society Beckys and Karens and shit, and then they start talking shit to your people, and now you look dumb. You better understand who you got up under you. Like I said before, any motherfucker that's been up under me, they know I am a non-tolerant motherfucker of the bullshit. And you better be too. I think we are very tolerant in the bullshit, especially when it comes to racism. I was watching another video where this brother got surrounded by these hills have eyes white people, and his daughter's in the car and they all scared. And I'm like, man, I would hit the gas on one of them motherfuckers. The fuck? But I think a lot of the times we so worried about retaliating, because when the young brother did retaliate, and I forgot what city he was in, he shot a white girl, and now he's on trial for murder. He's booked for murder because he was trying to protect himself, because they was saying racial slurs and shit. And I think a lot of times we do be nervous and we do be scared. That's why when George Floyd was getting assassinated on video, getting lynched, we were all in shock and so scared of them doing us like that. Nobody wanted to do anything. Everybody just stood around. Hey man, you hurting them, you hurting them. And like I tweeted too, I questioned myself. I said, what is wrong with us where we'll allow them to just kill us like that and we don't do anything? You know? And I feel like I always ask the black gods. I always, Ogun. I ask, Dirty Bookman. I go back to that prayer about how we need to wipe away the image of the white man's God and replace it with a black God. And it's true, because the white man's God asked them to commit crimes against us. See, their God is telling them to commit crimes against us. And we're praying to their God. So why would we pray to their God? We need to pray and channel our God and understand what it is. And that's why I had to question myself along with us. Like, what is wrong with us where we're afraid to even defend our own people against these race soldiers and just people, period. Like I said, white folks are more bold than people think, because they'll walk up on you, say crazy shit, try to, provoke you into saying something so you look crazy. You know what I mean? I've been in several situations like that before. That's why I'm like, wow, man, like these white people are bold. That's why when I go places, I'm very particular where I go. I don't have a whole lot of people around me. And I'm very, very, like the way I move. And the reason why you have to be like that, man, because in this time, in this day, man, in this racial climate, you ain't got no friends. Everybody gonna sit around and watch. Unless you're around some bout it motherfuckers that's like, fuck that. We finna handle business. We finna make sure we handle business with this brother. You know what I mean? That's why I think it's very important to read. Reading is fundamental. Like I said, I don't claim to know nothing. That's why the podcast is called No, I Don't Know, motherfucker, because I don't know. But collectively, we gonna know something. You feel me? We gonna know something when it's that time. Like I said before, when a black person carries around a gun, he's a thug. When a white person carries around a gun with the flag, with the Confederate flag, he's patriotic. Just think of the narrative that they gave you. Drew Brees came out 4 years later after everybody is like, now you see why Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee for the flag. And then the motherfucker still came out and was like, oh, well, y'all just read the flag. He might as well have said, fuck that nigga and fuck all you niggas. And if you kneel, you're disrespecting us. And since we run shit, fuck y'all too. That's basically what he said. And then Roger Goodell and all these other people made him walk back those statements because of the Black Lives Matters movement is creating such a ruckus within corporations, certain corporations, not all of them. Because I've yet to see any of these white-owned corporations out here in Las Vegas, all these casinos. I know it's anti-black racism going on there. I know they calling us all kinds of niggas and coons, all kinds of shit at these white corporations, but it's covert anti-black racism. So what they'll do is they'll call a nigga, and if you heard, all you're gonna do is call human resources, and all they gonna do is do an investigation. They gonna cover it up, and then after that, you're gonna be back to working with the same motherfucker that called you a nigga. Oh, do you have any witnesses? That bullshit. Oh, what day? Do you have a statement? Now you gotta play all this other shit, and it's like, even in this racial climate, how is it you need body cams when motherfuckers got camera footage? So I'm gonna give you the camera footage, and then motherfuckers will still be like, oh, well, he looked like he was fearing for his life. Just like the brother Devontae, I forgot his last name, out in not Ontario, but in Toronto. And them two white race soldiers fucked him up so bad, the motherfucker don't even got his eye. And he said, man, it felt like somebody hit me with a metal pole. Oh, well, you got hit with the fist. Well, whatever it is, you fucked him up. And these race soldiers, they had such an arrogant look on their face. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all better stop thinking that y'all got friends. And y'all better know what black power looks like. What does black power look like? Justice. Look, replacing the system of racism and white supremacy and establishing a system of justice. If you're not trying to do that, then get the fuck out of my face. And that's the thing. Motherfucker marching with you. Look, I'll tell you this a million times. Motherfucker can march with you all they want. Start talking to them about that money and about race and about reparations and about what's owed to black people. And then we'll see how many white friends you have then. Because they all good with you as long as they your boss. As long as they not your equal. Once they're your equal, then you're going to see how they really feel about you. Because the majority of them have been socialized and have been raised that they're supposed to be in charge of you. They're supposed to be telling you what to do. And they don't even realize it on them jobs. A lot of times I laugh. Because I be like, it's so funny how you get around and then all of a sudden they want to tell you what to do. They want to tell you how you should be working. And then when you don't want to listen to them, they go run and start a whole bunch of shit. They are the most vile, vicious, sinister, disrupting devils on the planet. How they got this country was through violence. Oh, what you thought? That they sat down with black folks and said, now look y'all, now y'all niggas, we want y'all to really work hard now. We gonna help y'all now. No. Let me tell you what they did. They enslaved us, beat us, raped us, buck broke us, fed us poison, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us in How to Eat to Live. In How to Eat to Live, he said, now this food, the pig, the tricana worm, all the nasty shit. Now, he didn't say it that way, but all the vile, nasty things that the white man has given you to eat, and you think he cares about you? Why would he give you that to eat? You got a point. Why would they give you that to eat? That's like me. That's like me putting arsenic in some water and letting you drink it, and you like, damn, what is this shit? Is fucking me up. Man, it's arsenic. But why does it make you feel like that? Man, trust me, it's good for you. But every day you feel worse and worse and worse. That's how they do black folk. I'm being honest. Let me tell you something. Do y'all think it's not by design that in the World Health Organization, I think the dude from France was like, well, we're going to test the vaccinations out on black folks first. And they was like, oh, no, you can't say that. You can't say that. And then everybody was like, well, you already said it, because that's how they felt. Staying on code, that's right. You know what? We got to establish, what is the code? What does a code look like? You're right, black empowerment is being on code. Like the Jews are. The Jewish community is very much on code. You can't, look, like I said before, when I was on Twitter, having Twitter wars with them, because I was calling them out for their participation in anti-black racism by participating in the transatlantic slave trade. They tried to give me all these different numbers and facts and pulling up all these articles. I kept taking pictures of my book, The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks, and posting it on Twitter. They're giving me articles. I said, I can look up articles all day. Where are the books and the authors of these books that I could read that is contrarian to the information that I am putting up? Crickets. Nothing. Zilch. Oh, you're anti-Semitic. I said, man, anti-Semitic, stop. Stop with the anti-Semitic. I have not spit any racial slur. I have not said anything derogatory towards the Jewish community. All I stated was facts. Their participation in the slave trade, their benefits, the Jewish community, the white folk that are Jews in that community have benefited very well from slavery. And I don't give a fuck if they do get mad or not. It's the truth. I don't want to work in Hollywood. I'm just going off the documentation that I read and the books that I've looked up from this book. And that's why they were like, oh, well, that book misinterpreted what those white Jewish scholars were saying. I said, well, then what were they saying then? Because in those books that they got it from, it seems like they were specifically talking about black folk. Oh, well, that's not true. No, I say, okay, now it's not true. So all these white Jewish scholars are liars. Okay. Because they're trying to make you, as a black person, feel like saying something contrarian or oppositional to the dominant white Jewish community, that somehow, how dare you, you going to hell. Just like in this book, The Medici Money, that I'm reading. Man, they was running so much game and trying to have a monopoly on the banking system in Europe and loaning out more money. That was like the first fraction reserve, loaning out more money than they had, and just playing all these games and trying to monopolize, not the wool, because they were making wool, but I got to look it up, because it was what the Turkish Moors had in their minds. I would have to look it up. Here, let me look it up, because I got the book right here, so I'm going to look it up. Because I was reading it today. Hold on, let me see. Let me see what they... I got to look this up, because it was something that they were... Let me see. Let's see. I'm going to find it. And this is the book that I'm reading right now. That book right there, Medici Money, about the so-called Italians, alum. Basically alum, and or alum, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And basically, they were mining it in a mine, like in a mine in the hills where the Turkish Moors, that was their territory. So the Pope was basically like, okay, well, we're not using that. We're going to use the only alum that we can get, that the Medici is going to finance, and we're going to have a monopoly on that, because we don't want y'all using that alum, because basically you would have to do trades with the Turkish Moors. And the Turks was like, you come over here, we fucking you up. Basically, we'll let you mine it, but nigga, we going to pay, you know what I'm saying? We going to charge you for it. And basically, it just, to me, shows how much, in my personal opinion, how much they was like, well, fuck that. We don't want to involve none of them. And that's how it is to this day. Isn't that how they did your boy Kanye? They let everybody else in the clothing industry. That nigga spent like 10, 12, $13 million. Then he had the nerve to get an attitude with Sway. He was about to get his ass whooped. Kanye. And I just remember he just kept talking about how much money he spent to get in the industry and all that, and how nobody wanted to take him serious. Well, because there's a reason why ain't no black folk in the industry. And if they are, they're moist. Or they're a coon, or they're a Sambo, and they gotta walk around kissing everybody's ass and shit. And your clothes gotta look just like they clothes. That's by design. And that goes all the way back, that book goes all the way back to the 1400s. It's the 20th century? So what was it, 600, 700, 800 years ago? Stop. White folk are clearly and fully aware. They're very clear on what racism is and what white privilege is. They know. Stop playing. Don't let them play dumb. They know what it is. They know we're not on code. That's how they're able to infiltrate our circles and get us to fight and give one nigga the nigga trinkets. That's why most black groups don't make it, because most record labels will be like, well, we want you. We don't really want the group. Okay, fine. And then when you put the group on, well, we're not going to really back the group, but we'll back group. We're going to give you a record label. And we're going to give you a record label. And then you're like, all right, well, I want to put my group out. Nah, we're looking for something else. See, it's a form of control. It's the illusion of inclusion. You know how they do at the corporate plantation. You know how they do. They do it at the corporate plantation. They do it in the NBA, the NFL. It's all falsified advertisements, a false narrative. They don't care about black folks in their movement. As long as you can go play, run, nigga, run. $40 million slave. Go get that book. I just haven't read it yet. That's what it's about. Don't think nothing different. I hope you don't think it's going to change. Look, this shit will never change until we have an uprising like the Haitian Revolution. But it ain't going to change kumbayaing and marching and whining and repeat and getting videos of Becky's and Karen's calling us niggers and all that. Look, These white folk now are just coming out the bag. That's all. They've been saying this shit about us. I just think it's hurting black folks' feelings because they really thought most white people cared about them. When you have that in mind, that you know these motherfuckers don't care about you, you feel better in the morning. You get good sleep at night. You don't get good sleep at night when you're worried about what they think about you. No, you're there to be you. You're not there to be them. That's why on the dominant society part of the game, when you go onto the court plantation, you have to be a conformist, go along to get along. You have to acquiesce. You have to bend the knee. You have to be what they want you to be. So when you that's why it's hard for me to deal with all the court plantation mammies and coons and sambos. Because niggas get on the court plantation because they got an office with a door. They act just like the house Negro that live in the big house. And you just be looking at them like, nigga, you fuck up one time, your ass is the fuck up out of here. But they'll treat you all fucked up. And that's the thing what I mean about, okay, if you're a good gatekeeper, open the door. Don't close it behind you. Keep the door open. You may not, it's not about us getting along, it's about us being on code, reading, researching. That's why when the motherfucker was like, man, I was reading this book, The Borgias and Their Enemies, and this one Caucasian fellow, at the court plantation was just like, man, have you been to the Borgia Palace and all that? Oh, it's beautiful. I said, why would I want to go there? And it threw him off. It literally threw him off. I said, I'm not reading that book for that. He's like, oh no, but it's a good place to go. I said, but why would I want to go there? And he was just like, nah, well, yeah, you're right. He's like, why? Where would you want to go? I said, to go see the pyramids. I want to see what my people built. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, I don't blame you. You got to correct people. Why would I want to do that? But you know what's so hard? When you tell black folk, yeah, I want to go see the pyramids in Egypt. Ooh, I don't want to go there. It's like, but you'll go spend all your money on an Apple Watch and an iPhone, all this chicken shit that don't mean nothing, which Apple does not give a fuck about y'all. If you're going to be smart, go buy the stock so you can short it as a team or a group when you don't like what the fuck how they doing black folk. But we don't know how to be on code because getting a nigga to buy stock is like getting a nigga to read a book. It's damn near impossible. Niggas don't want to buy no stock. Niggas want short-term gain. They don't want long-term gain. They want instant gratification. Stock. Oh, that's white people shit. Remember, man, what does black power look like? What does it look like? How is it? How do you formulate it? I think the Black Panthers had a good system, 10-point program. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad had a great system. Noble Drew Ali had one. Clarence 13X, he had one. What does it look like? How do you formulate it? How do you keep it going? I would say from my perspective is the first thing you would have to do is study from the cradle to the grave. You should always be trying to study. Then you have to apply those concepts and principles to your everyday life, which is very difficult for me and very difficult for anyone that does read. But what happens is when you start applying what you read to your everyday life, you will lose people. You will lose friends. You won't have the same type of people in your life because you will have less tolerance for the ignorance and the bullshit. You won't care. That's why I tell people all the time, hey man, read. You ain't gotta be a whole bunch of groups. Look, magnetize the people that you need in your circle, you need around you. Don't have a whole bunch of yes motherfuckers. No, have people that's like, hey man, I'm reading this book. You need to really read this book. Because this book, woo woo woo. You don't want motherfuckers where if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to change rooms. That's why right now, I'm yearning to be around people educated. I'm not talking about degree educated. I'm talking about not just that. I'm talking about well-read as well. Because there's a lot of educated brothers and sisters that think outside the box. Everybody that's educated and got the European degree ain't snobs, ain't bourgeoisies, don't think they better than it. It's a lot of brothers and sisters that got education that are very humble and don't get it twisted. They are ride or die for their people, and they're about educating themselves as well as their people. To each his own. You just got to magnetize those type of people. That's why I've been on a long quest and journey, to magnetize those type of people. If I can't get those type of people in my inner circle, I guess one to just be riding solo, until I can, you know what I mean? As far as get, and not just be hanging around, just, hey man, check this book out. Then we need to read this book. Because like right now I'm reading Medici Money. Very, very good book. Very, very good book. Medici family was just like the Borgias, crooked as a motherfucker. Crooked is the letter S, and just shiesty as fuck. You know what I mean? And they was just doing so many things in the name of their religion or their religious beliefs. You know what I mean? So it's like, put those religious beliefs aside when you're dealing with black folk and come together as a people. Because that's the only way, in my personal opinion, you're going to handle business. That's what black power looks like. Buying black. Even if your black business made a mistake. Like I said, plenty of black businesses made mistakes with me purchasing. But I'm not finna get on here and dog them. Nah, man, fuck it. They make mistakes. I know they didn't do it honestly. They probably did it by mistake. And that's all good. But you know what? You go back to the drawing board until you can get it right with them. Because we quick to write off like, see, that's why I'm fucking with no nigga shit. Because woo-woo. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been the same way. You know what I mean? I've been the same way. Now, it's a lot of bullshit ass niggas out here that trying to, yeah, it is. Like, I remember one nigga was like, I was trying to have some work done on my crib. And I reached out to this brother, and the brother was like, yeah, okay, man, I'll charge you, whoop, whoop, whoop. And I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, man, but you can help me do it. I was like, nigga, I'm not trying to help you do nothing. I got to go to work. Oh, well, I can probably take off $100 here. Nah, man, I'm good. So you do got those bullshit ass niggas too. But don't let that affect everyone that you deal with. You know what I mean? That's why we got to start taking back the black dollar and doing something useful with it, like buying bonds, stocks, mutual funds, buying property. Learn how to buy property. Learn how to do these things. That's black empowerment. That's black power. Stop being around all your white friends and they all own homes, and then you not even aspiring to own one and being okay with that. See, they like that shit. Let me tell you why they like that shit. Because that makes them feel superior over you. Let me tell you. You know why? Because I've been around a lot of Caucasian folks who did not own, and when they knew I did, that made them feel a certain way. That made them feel a certain way like a motherfucker. But that to each his own. That's not your job to go out there and make them feel comfortable. And it's not your job to feel inferior because they own property you don't. They white. They supposed to own the property. Now it's your turn. Yeah, you might have to work a little bit harder, but get with those people that know how to do that so you ain't making the same mistakes and you can own property. It's about us all. It's enough property out here for all of us to own. I don't understand why black folks act like it's not enough property. It's enough property for every black folk to own some property. Sacrificing. Because let me tell you something. In this climate right now, in this economy, until it does crash, oh shit, they feeding off the people at the bottom. All these apartments and management property companies, oh man, I know they making a killing. Why would you say they weren't? You know why they making a killing? Because that Raider Stadium, and they know they can overcharge for rent than what it used to be. They know what they doing. So instead of watching your people struggle, help them. Put them on the game. That's what I tell everybody, man, be a property owner. You know what I'm saying? Don't pay somebody else's mortgage and make them wealthy. Nah, go get your own. Is it hard? It's very difficult. It's a lot of hard work and dedication, a lot of discipline. But as black folk, we have to aspire for that too. We have to aspire to want to have that. I go into too many motherfucking apartments and I see Lexus trucks and Audi trucks and Audis and all this other stuff. And I'm like, and I'm not saying it's all black people. I'd be tripping, but sometimes I wait to see, damn, I wonder who's getting in that car. When I see a black person getting in a fancy car and in an apartment, I'm like, damn. Now, are these condos that you can own? Or are these rent to own? Or are these just renting? Oh, they just rent. Oh, man, my brother. Come on, man. We got to get with it. That's black empowerment. Reading Black Labor, White Wealth, reading Powernomics, reading The Wealth Choice, reading Think Like a Millionaire by Dr. Boyce Watkins, reading these things so we can understand how money works in our community. Because if we don't understand how it works, then guess what we gonna be doing? Buying nigga shit. Buying the stuff that we think we supposed to have. That's why most motherfuckers buy what they want and beg for the things that they need. But hey, man, it's my time. I appreciate everybody listening. Appreciate everybody doing what the fuck they need to do. I'll either be on tomorrow, probably Tuesday. Probably like 6 o'clock, 6:30. Man, I appreciate everybody listening. Hey, man, if you out there not wearing your clown-ass mask and you up here trying to tongue wrestle another motherfucker, guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.